Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm Joseph. I'm also known as CryptoSonar, and we're going to get to a market update. We've got the market opening up in about 10 minutes, so let's take a look at where we are going to be here. Turn that down. We know that works. Get out of here. All right, where are we at here? I see. All right, so taking a look at the market, we've got the Nasdaq, or what I like to call the the S&P 500, looking to open up about 2.5 points below. We've got the Nasdaqery, also known as the Nasdaq. This is United States stock market based. Open is set to open out 912. Looking at gas prices, 330 over in California. They're looking at $4.65, but a little bit spread out throughout the state. Washington State, $3.90. Pennsylvania, $3.52. New York, $3.48. So the average has slipped down, come down just a little bit since President Biden decided to open up the reserve spigot a little while back. Fear and greed index, what we're looking at right now, is probably going to be right about neutral, which it is. And that's something. A week ago we were at greedy, and a month ago we were at fear, and for some reason we're at neutral right now. I'd say we're probably a little bit more towards the fear side here with the beginning of the market open this week. Things not looking too great on that side of the equation. Earnings for today, not much. Greenbrier and it looks like Acuity Brands. We will have some next week. Tilray, Commercial Metals, AZZ on Monday. Tuesday, you're going to have Albertsons and some of the grocers. Wednesday, not a lot. Some financials. And then Thursday. So it looks like the following week is really when earnings, the week of the 17th through the 20th, is when you're going to get a lot of pop on those. So not a lot going on per se from an earnings standpoint. But that's okay. We'll take a look at some of those as they come up. Whoops. Whoa. All right. Going into trading strategies, if I look at sentiment, we've got about 6 minutes here before the open. You can see that mostly things like gold, bearish on gold, bearish or bullish on silver, and actually bullish on gold too. I don't buy this 75%. We'll look at the metals a little bit. Oil still bullish, right about that halfway point. We'll go into that. S&P 500 bearish. Wall Street, which represents the Dow, bearish. Germany mixed. FTSE 100 bearish, and the France 40 bearish as well. Looking at some of the currencies, you got a mix of bearish and bullish going on over there. So based on whether you're looking at the Euro, USD, Australian dollar, British pound, etc., New Zealand, etc., etc., etc. So if you're into the Forex and you're doing the currencies and you're looking at swaps or whatever you want to look at, some of that stuff is going on there. How to use that in my trading? No thanks. And let's take a look at non-farm payrolls. We just covered that. Prints at 199,000. Unemployment rate 3.9%. So we'll take a look and see what kind of effect that's going to have on the market. Right now, it looks like an absolutely flat opening, which tells me that it's probably going to go north a little bit and go up just a little as we get into an open here. So stocks to watch for today. You have Apple. Apple's looking to open up about 80 cents. AMD looking to open up about 31 cents. And let me go to a third 15-minute chart for these when we go back. So Apple looking for a soft opening, up a little bit, about 0.5% maybe on the open. AMD, a little bit there. One of my favorites, Boeing, looking to open up a little bit to 1191. And I'll be talking about that one a in a little while here. Coinbase looking to open down. Again, that's a reflection on the crypto markets. We are going to cover some of the crypto markets as well, probably after the open, or maybe I'll have a minute or so to cover those before the open. Ford looking to open up north again, up about 39 cents in the pre-market, and pre-market's going to be in here real shortly. Facebook down are looking to open up flat. GFS Foundries, Global Foundries, down 49 cents prior to the open. The Goog up $10. Home Depot down. Lowe's down. Microsoft looking to open up almost a 72 cents. It just flipped from $1 down to 72 cents. So looking for an up on that. Netflix down 229 in the pre-open. Palantir, one of my faves to day trade, up 9 cents on the open, 16.83. We're going to look at Palantir to open and possibly reach that $17 again and see if it holds that. If it holds it, we may look for an entry point there and take a look at what's going on basically a flat market opening. Tesla, for all you Teslarati's out there, it is going to open up 14 up to 10.78, well off of its highs. Let me turn that off. If you look at where the highs were, 12.10, and it's sitting down right about 11.2%. It's pulled off of its recent highs here earlier in the week. U.S. oil 56.89, and ExxonMobil 68. Taking a look at the metal markets really quickly. Gold trading up $2.21. Silver looking up just a little bit. Platinum down about $8 again. The ones that I don't own any palladium. I do have silver and platinum, and I do the U.S. Mint stuff and some other degen stuff as well. All right, real quick here, 2 minutes to go. I talked about Ethereum last night. Looks like Ethereum dropped down to 32.11. The range it dropped down. It had some bottom wicks in the 3100s here, and just had one just a little bit ago, right about a half an hour ago, and so it's looking to come back out of that. It does look like it might be forming a little bit of a base here, and so we'll take a look at that a little bit later and see if it can base this out and come back more, into a 4 hour here and pull back, as we've got about 2 minutes before the open. There's a chance it could come down to this $2,800 level. I talked last night on a stream where we're looking at some basic support here, somewhere around 3,300 or so. We're about 100 below that. That's okay. You got some old resistance here, 31.83. Looks like that's what it about came down to. So it looks like it came down to the resistance levels that you could say almost all the way back here, range bound. It's tough to range bound some of this and channel some of this stuff. But it looks like, what's it doing right now this second? Drop to a 30-second chart. And we're looking at 196.18, or down 195 to 32.10. So forgetting about everything that happened last night and taking a look at where we're at, you can see that it started to go back up again. I talked last night on a stream. I think we had a buy signal on a 3-minute chart, and that buy signal is still active from when it came in. So we'll see what happens here. Take a look and go from there. So let's get into the open. Let's go. All right, here we go. NASDAQ open up down 19. We have the Kimberly Clark. Why does that say Kimberly Clark? Sorry about that. Let me go over to the S&P. Boom, there we go. All right, we got the S&P 500 up 53 cents on the open. We've got the volatility index trading up as well. So that could be something where we go dippity dip and then possibly go back south again. But we'll see. It's pulled back a little bit over the last 20 minutes or so, off a high of 2039. So back down to 1985, trending down a little bit, where the SPY is basically on a very soft open, down 4. The NASDAQ is down 11, and the Dow is down 54. Let's take a quick look at some of the let's see here. Where is my... Ooh, got to get back into the groove here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, that one, this... Oh, I already had All right, so we've got the SPY down a little bit, AMD trading down, Boeing jumping. So let's go over and take a look at Boeing and see what's going on with it. Why is that doing that? Nice up on Boeing here. Take a quick look at news. Yeah, again, the last news is all the way back on the 5th about the Allegiant order for 50 new orders. Again, this is something that it's been trending down, and then it's had a nice little up here this week. So that's actually been a little bit of good news that I've seen. I know that I got out of my calls, my January 14th $205 Boeing calls, and I got out of those at 1070. It closed yesterday somewhere in the 8 range, and looks like today it's at 933. Yeah, and my outs were at where are you at here? Oh, there we are. 985. I thought it was $9, but I was out. I had 25 calls. I got out of 5 at 985, 5 at 1020, and the rest at 1070. So that was pretty good. So not bad there. So we got a nice little opening here on Boeing. Not bad, not bad. Let's see what else is up here in the list. We've got Apple up 82 cents. AMD down 25 cents. Give me my buddy here. So 1685, 1684 on Palantir. I'm going to check other news on Palantir. 1 second. RBC cutting price target on Palantir to $15 from $19. And let me see if there's anything else here. Let's see our old friends. GameStop up $22. Again, we've got some options expiring today. So if you're looking at, I can tell you where the juice is. Let's see, GameStop. All right, GameStop 154.52 up $23, up about 17%. No news other than they're looking to enter the NFT marketplace. So there was a story that I was looking at yesterday, and why GameStop shares are ripping higher today. Hey, let's look at this, Benziga. Following reports suggesting the company plans to launch a business unit dedicated to NFTs and cryptocurrency. According to a Wall Street Journal report, more than 20 people have already been hired to develop and run the online marketplace. Reports suggest that the new business unit is expected to launch at the end of 2022. That's a long way out, but they're going to price it now. There's something to be said for buying the news or selling the news, buying the rumor and selling the news. And we'll take a look and see what happens with GameStop today. Again, it closed up higher. It closed up yesterday, 132 range-ish, somewhere around there. So we're at 151. So they're off to a good start. You've got a lot of options actions for people trading 0-day expiration. So $1.07 or looks like they're looking at the 160 calls. You've got 1,090 contracts traded on that. You've got people trading 170 calls, 1,215 contracts there. If you're looking at something in the money at 151.95, again, all the options on GameStop are at the $2.50 intervals. You've got the 155s, not a lot of action there. It looks like the 150s. The 150s is probably going to be my guess of where the battle might be. You have 617 contracts traded on those. That's starting to go up a little bit. So I think that, if you're looking at where it's going to possibly look at closing a little bit later today, the 150 range might be it. Let's go into our other buddy, AMC. Let me get over to that options chain. And get rid of this There we go. All right. AMC also up 92 cents. I don't think we have any news on them. AMC's CEO gives a timeline on when movie theater chain will routinely accept Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. All right, Adam. Adam Aaron, my friend. If you're going to accept Dogecoin, if you're going to accept Shiba Inu, and you're going for the meme coins, might want to accept, I don't know, there's a couple bigger ones. Maybe you've heard of it, called Ethereum and or Bitcoin. Might be a good idea to that. It says that they started to, all right, it says, November last year that it has started to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. I stand corrected. I was wrong. And two other cryptocurrencies for ticket purchases. So they're going to add a couple more to it. He talked about this in November, talking about Shiba Inu as a Dogecoin killer. And let's see, we can take a quick look at those. And where's my SHIB? Shiba Inu trading down about 5% or so since 5 o'clock Eastern time. I forget when it resets. They reset the 24-hour clock on crypto. I don't remember what time they do that at. But they're actually down a little bit. Again, all the crypto is down. We're back down into the 3,100 range on Ethereum. And looks like on Bitcoin, you're also down a little bit. Let me take this screen and oops, sorry didn't mean to do that. Wrong one. There we go. That's what I want to do. Get this on a different monitor, and let me angle it down a little bit for the glare. Boom. There we go. All right. And scroll down. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Cool. Okay. So welcome over on YouTube. If you're watching the stream over there, hey, hit that like button if you can, and hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And if you are over on Twitch, please give me a follow on Twitch so that you're notified when I stream. I'll be doing this every day, every trading day, about a half an hour or so before the open, and then possibly market closes on usually the third Fridays, definitely for sure, on options expiration, whether it's a triple witching or the quarterly quadruple witching, etc. And I need to look and see. All right, we're popping here. Palantir 1693 looks like it wants to go. It had a wick at 1695 here, but hasn't broken $17 yet. It wants to though. Had a buy signal on it in the pre-market when it was at 16. When the candle closed at 1678, so that's pretty good. Stock. Boeing definitely on a nice solid buy signal. Up 273, 214. Where's the options action on Boeing today? Oops. Looks like calls puts. $2.15. So Boeing also trades on the $2.50 difference between on the call options. Looks like the 215s have about 2,200 contracts traded, and the 212.50s expiration today at 1351. We had this morning Atlas Air Worldwide purchases 4 Boeing 777 freighters. So when you're looking at Boeing, one of the things you want to look at is not necessarily the passenger jets, but take into account all the supply constrictions that they have in the United States, having surrounding around logistics and the ability to get products to consumers. So what you're seeing with Boeing is you're seeing that realm of their business, because remember, they do defense, they do space, they do aircraft, they're into a lot of different things. And so when you think about the supply chain, you think about all the problems they're having in the ports, one of those companies that can help alleviate a lot of that pressure is Boeing, with the additional sale of airplanes specifically designed for cargo. And so the freighters for Boeing, the big ones, you got the 777, but really the most successful one they've had as freighters has been the 767s. And that's something that has been out for a little while now. I think it was, who was it that bought, there's the Allegiant one. There was one, let's see. I forget who it was. UPS, there we go. December 21st, which is when I YOLO'd into my call options. UPS ordered 19 Boeing 767 jets. And what I said at that time was, look, if they're going to do it, there's a lot of companies that follow UPS. If UPS has a foresight to look at buying 19 767 freighters, other ones are going to come through as well. And now we have Atlas Air, which is a huge company, purchasing 4 777 freighters. So that's pretty much why you got the pop going on in here. Whereas the rest of the market, you have the NASDAQ is now up 27. You have the S&P 500 is now down 1. And volatility is slipping down to 19.68. And let's take a look at the Dow. Dow is down 60. So depending on, tech sector is up a little bit. And you can take a look at that. If I want to look at, going to my screener here. And volume leaders today, the SQQs, Ford is up again. One of my faves. This is one of my long-term holdings. I own a good amount of Ford. And by the way, if you like Ford products and you are a shareholder, you can actually send them proof that you own at least 100 shares for at least 6 months. And you get what's called the X program discount for buying Ford products. So if you buy a Ford truck, if you buy a Ford car, F-150 Lightning, a Mustang Mach-E, traditional Mustang, you can get a very heavy discount where the dealers basically have to show you what the X program pricing is on that. So they're looking up again today. I don't think that there was any. They're on my watch list, but strong EV performance, and that's going to be the big one. What people are looking at is they're not necessarily looking at what their traditional sales are on their products, and same thing with GM, but GM is way behind the curve compared to Ford. But what they're looking at is they're going to be looking at what's going on with the EVs. So obviously Ford has a head start in this. People say, well, GM had the head start with the Volt, until all the recalls, right, on the batteries and the fires. So Ford is definitely in the driver's seat with their Mustang Mach-E, the F-150 Lightning, plus the hybrids that they're going to be doing when you're talking about the introduction of the Broncos. Snow issues aside, because some people had some issues with the snow. Definitely a good one there. Portillo's, I like Portillo's. I own Portillo's in my long term, and just picked up some more earlier this week. All right, so Portillo's up 38 cents. There goes Palantir. So that's what we talked about. We talked about right in the open. We talked about, hey, Palantir, can it break this 17? Looks like it solidly broke to 17. Now we're 17.22. So now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to go into maybe a 15-minute chart. Wait for it to catch up. And take a look here. If we go, here's today. Here's Thursday live market. This is aftermarket. These are what are called the externals. This is aftermarket. This is pre-market. So you got Thursday, you got Wednesday, you have Tuesday, and then going into last week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and here we are on Friday. So looks like it definitely has a little bit going here. That's good news for me. Let me take a look at my options here. I do have some March options that I'm up about 21% on today, up about $720. So hey, that's pretty good. So that's got me up. That's got me up a nice chunk there. Other ones, let me see my other accounts. So all together, I'm up about $1,515 today. I've not made a trade. Again, I talked about this last night where my Boeing calls that I closed out earlier in the week. No stress, man. I already hit my goal for the entire month of January, and it's January 7th. So not really worried about that. My Torah is over there on YouTube. Good morning to you, my friend. Nice to see you this morning. And if you guys are over on Twitch, hey, hit that follow button. If you're over on YouTube, really helps me out if you hit both the like button and the subscribe button. What super helps is if you put a comment in there. And same thing with Twitch. So good morning over there, and welcome to the stream. We're talking stocks, we're talking crypto, we're talking earnings, and some other things. So again, we got a nice run up. Look at the VIX. VIX basically going south here, which is great news. We're looking to see that. It looks like we're getting a nice little bounce in the market here. And if I take a look at some of my major movers here, the SPY is up, the Dow is up, the VIX is down. Again, that's an inverse of the S&P 500. Microsoft is up, Palantir is up, pulling back just a little bit. Coinbase is, I believe they're up as well, $1.64. Boeing up 246, up a full percent, and AMD is up as well. So Palantir, what's going to be interesting about Palantir, I did not do a trade on them. Let me get out of the options. Let me get into the stock. We might take a run here. Let me go back into this. And this. Back to a 30-second. Forget about when you guys look at my charts, forget about looking at buy and sell signals. I do all of my buys usually on a 3-minute chart. I might front run it a little bit on a 1-minute chart, for example, because it's telling of things to possibly come. So if you look at my my fancy customized MACD, you'll see that the volume on the buy side is starting to dip a little bit. You've got a couple sell candles here, but these sell candles, even on the 1-minute, do not exceed the buy candles that ran it up based on the Atlas Air news of them buying freighters. And what's interesting about Boeing is if I look at my news feed, I'm getting out of TradingView. I'm sorry, that's Palantir. Boeing, where you at? Oh, there we at. They don't report this news on here. I got that from my brokerage side news, which I think that story on Boeing was, let's see who released that. Doesn't give me the news source. It's just a local Seattle story. We are honored. It's a big press release, which is good news. Which is good news for them. But if you look at the 1-minute, it's on a sell signal. Volume is declining, but the volume of the sells do not exceed the volume on the buys. So while you have, the blue line crossing the red on the downside, we're starting to head into an oversold condition on Boeing. We'll see on that one. But back to Palantir, I'm looking at possibly 1,000 or so shares on Palantir. Hello, what do you want? What do you want? My dog, she wants to say hello, but she's not getting it. Okay, down. All right, there's my pen. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's see, go 1,000 maybe. All right, flattening out. Got a doji here. Huge Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band, and this is something that you can look at some YouTube videos on Bollinger Bands and take a look over there at those. But this is something when you have a skinnying Bollinger Band, which is this green cloud with the bottom green line and top green line, and it skinnies up, it's looking to do a change. The fake out was on the downside, market open, market go burr. Now we're on a doji. 2 candles in a row on a doji on the 1-minute. Now it's going to head back up. 1724. Let me get my other screen up here. NASDAQ's doing the exact same thing. S&P. VIX is settling in. It might make another run here. I should have bought it down here when I was talking. You have a 1 cent spread, and whenever I do trades in my brokerage screen, I have I can show you guys. Hold on. Think. There we go. There we go. There we go. And let me see here. I believe I can show you guys that. Hold on a second. Boom, here we go. Okay, so this is one of my brokerage screens. So what you see in the middle here, these are the prints. So, and then the colors represent the different markets. These are level 2 quotes. So these are live trades being executed right now. And I always choose smart. So I don't go directly to ARCA or NASDAQ. I do smart. I let the brokerage firm, Charles Schwab, I use Street Smart Edge for this particular account. And it's basically a desktop program that I'm running. So I'm not running it in a web browser. And so it's giving me where the action is, right? So you can look, there's a lot of orders down here, 2,600 shares, 1,300 shares. These are orders that might be incoming, on the sell side, and over here on the buy side, and over here on the sell side, you've got 5,000 there, and they go pretty quickly. So you gotta kind of look at it, but you got a very small spread here. You have about a penny spread, which is kind of cool as well. And back over to, there we go. This one back up. Boom. Where you at? There we go. And this one. And what is this one? High-low scanner? Oh, that's my high-low scanner. That's where it went. I just had it minimized. All right. Cool. All right. So if you guys have a stock or something you want me to take a look at, you can post a symbol in the chat either over on Twitch and or YouTube. Okay. So again, I held off on my buy. I didn't meet my rules. Now we're 1709. And just that little bit of movement. Now I'm up $873 on the day. But I haven't made any trades, so it's all not real until I actually make a trade if I sell out of something. I've got so the calls that I have on Palantir, I have the September 16th, 2022, $25 calls, okay? And not a lot, like 20 of those, that's like $2,300 or so. And then I have I like to go out 30 to 40 days out, maybe a delta in the 0.3 range, and YOLO'd into 45 $20 calls, expiration March 18th, and that's based on an earnings play in February. So I'm not looking to hold these calls out to expiration. I'm looking to exit them. It's kind of like a swing trade. It's a swing trade in options. I don't do a lot of the 0-day expirations. I try to get out of my options 1.5 to possibly 2 weeks before expiration. I don't want to risk something happening in the market and then something called IV crush, because every day it gets closer to expiration, the amount of value in that option on the call side is diminished every single day to a greater extent. It increases your amount of being taken away from the value on a daily basis. So, the 318 calls, I bought those around February earnings, and I may exit those before the February earnings. We'll see what comes out. They're forecast to hit, was it like 4 cents? 4 cents. Last time earnings on Palantir, they forecasted 4 cents. They hit 4 cents. That was 9 November, and they report on 16th of February. But right now, I'm looking at doing a day trade on this. And I'm just kind of watching it. There's a 30-second. Let me go back into, I need to look over here for a second. Actually, I should do this. So what I do is before I do a buy, I take a look at the overall market sentiment. I look at the NASDAQ, I look at the S&P, I look at the volatility index. Volume is starting to slow down here. These buys are greater than the other ones too. All right, I'm in 1,000 shares of Palantir at 17.18. There's my execution. Where are those from? Oh, that's from last night. Okay, 17.20. Good deal. Let's go. 17.23. So again, 1,000 years. If I want to make $200, what do I got to do? Well, $200 is gonna be a 20-cent move on 1,000 shares. So if I'm in at 17.18 plus 20 cents, that's 17.38. I'll go up here. I'll go to 17.38. I'll go like this. I'll add an alert, and it's going to tell me where it's going to go. Now, what I'm also going to look at is I'm also going to look at these bottom wicks, 17.09. I'm going to add an alert there. And so there's my range. And what I'm looking for is if I degen and I'm doing something else, and I'm going to say, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the big board. Let's go into the S&P 500, take a look at the heat map. Why isn't that updating? There we go. And take a look at the board, and this is the S&P 500 representation. So now I can look at the screen on the right. I can watch it trade, but I also have alerts set, okay? So I can look at that and see what's happening. Down on my iPad, I have that same 3 screen that I have up here. So I monitor YouTube, I monitor the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the volatility index, which is basically this screen here on my iPad. And so I'm kind of watching that, and then I can turn around while all that is going on, and I can take a look at the S&P 500 and say, okay, where's the action going on today? Well, the financials are mixed. Tech, you got Nvidia. The red is down, the green is up. The very bright green, Berkshire Hathaway, the B shares are up. The banks, Wells Fargo is up, Citigroup is up, Bank of America up, JP Morgan up, the druggies, Pfizer is up, Johnson Johnson's up, Merck is up, AbbVie is up, Bristol Myers Squibb is up, Google, Facebook both down, Amazon up, Tesla down. I can get a look at the sentiment, and as you can see right there, all over the board, right? It's freaking everywhere. Okay. All right, still holding the Palantir 17.18, and that's actually what I bought in at. And slight uptick in the VIX, slight downtick on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Take a quick look at those. NASDAQ still holding on to a 63-point gain. S&P still holding on to a 4-point gain. Volatility index still down 40 cents to 1922. And then on our diggity Dow is down 23, which is basically flat. Everything else is pulling back. AMD pulling back. Boeing staying up. Coin staying up. Palantir staying up. Microsoft staying up. Not bad there. $17.14. Boop. 250. And let's see here. So employment growth misses expectations. Unemployment rate falls to 3.9%. Omicron dents the Eurozone's economic rebound. Inflation at record high. GameStop soars on building NFT. We talked about that already. Wall Street opens flat after soft jobs data. We covered that before the open. Nowhere near new normal, whatever that is. Okay. U.S. Supreme Court looking at the mandates on the vax, I guess. Focus Tech Alliance, CES. CES is going on right now. I haven't even followed it at all. Shell pursues $7 billion buyback at pace despite LNG troubles. So despite natural gas, they're buying back $7 billion of their shares. Holy cow. Airbus 2021 deliveries hover between 605 and 611 units. Again, Fed's QT unlikely to be like watching giant paint dry. Yep. Kazakh president, who cares? Nothing there. President Biden, I saw, I'm also a private pilot, but I haven't been up in a little while, but there was a airspace closure around Colorado today. Apparently President Biden is touring the damage from the Colorado wildfires, the most destructive wildfire in Colorado's history. And that was a couple weeks ago. And so, a lot of stuff there. All right, so back to Palantir. So Palantir, now see where this range is, where it's at right now. It dipped right to my line. It dipped right to 1709. And let's see if I get a fill here. All right, I added to my position. I added another 250 shares. There's the ding. It already filled. I've got about a... There's my alert. Take a look at Boeing. Still heading up. Go Boeing, go! Go Boeing. AMD. Heading down. Again, slight downtick now in the market. You got the NASDAQ still hanging out, up 47. You have the S&P still up 5. The Dow is only down 5 now. A lot of that's going to be Boeing and some of the other ones coming back, right? And volatility is starting to dip, so we might get another turn here to go north. Boeing holding up. Coinbase still up $2. Palantir. Ethereum 31.90. Coinbase, what are you doing today? Go out to a 1 hour here. That's gonna look ugly. Coinbase is retraced from its recent high. I don't go to the top of the wicks. I go to the top of the closing candles. Down 15% over the last 11 days. But if you like volatility, my friends, that is volatility. All right, VIX heading up a little bit. NASDAQ continues to fall off. Only up 19. Dow is down 11. S&P is up 1. VOR and ONG over on YouTube. Okay, to biopharmas. So biopharmas can be pretty good, especially if they've got news or something breaking. You have an insider sell back in November. That's the last news item on it. So if you're looking for something, this is well off of its highs. Looks like it's just about ready to break a past support from 30th of November or so. And that support goes all the way back to July. So you've got July. You've got this thing range bound in here. And taking a look at where it's at right now. It's starting to look at breaking through that. That's not necessarily great news. This is on a 1 hour chart. If I zoom out to a daily, it's going to be ugly. Very ugly. So, if you're looking to add to a position, be very careful here because it's already broken down below this level back here at the end of November on VOR Biopharma. I'm not sure what drug that they might do, or if you're buying on a rumor of some sort of drug coming out. Let's see here. FDA fast track designation to treat acute myeloid leukemia. So basically, a leukemia drug. They did the fast track designation, and that basically helps out with the development of it. May be eligible for priority review and accelerated approval if certain conditions are met. So if they meet certain conditions, that is no, you don't eat that. I have this thing that I put my feet on, and she's trying to eat it. My dog gets jealous when I stream. No, leave it. So I'd be very careful here. If you're on your bed, go on your bed. Go on. No, no. What are you? You're gonna hide? What are you doing? Sit. Sit. Wait. So if you're holding shares of these, I don't know if I would be adding to this position at this point. The last news that they had on that thing was back in September. So, fast track stuff takes a little bit of time. They're going with VOR Biopharma collaborating with Janssen. So they're working with Janssen on it. It's going to be a little while. So if you're holding, if it's a long-term hold, I don't think I'd be adding to the position just yet because it broke through this November support level, and now it's basically creating new support that you can't even go back to from the time that the thing went public, right? So be very, very careful on that one, my friend. But like I said, if it's something long term, will you leave that thing alone, dog? Come here. Come on. Where's your bone? She wants to chew other things, and she's got this whole bone here. What do you want? Sit. Shake. Other shake. Up. There you go. Take your bone. And she drops it, and then she'll come back and bug me. All right, the second one you wanted to look at was ONG. ONG. But you know what? The other side of it is, if you look at the sector, on the drug sector, you got a mixture. You got Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Bristol Myers, Amgen up. You've got Eli Lilly, AbbVie, Gilead, and Biogen all down on the day. Did you say ONG? Yeah, dude, that don't even come up. Hold on a second. ONG. I don't see them on a U.S. exchange if it's... I don't know who they are. But the foreign exchanges I don't get. Oh, you're talking about ONT, crypto? You're not talking about ontology, are you? Or are you talking about oil? Maybe clarify on the ONG request, and we can look at that. All right, Boeing. Back to a 30-second chart, so we get the live. Looking good. Palantir dipped. It did not hit my lower level alert at 1693. 1701. Let me check the ups. Still trending down in the NASDAQ and the S&P. Where's the battle on options today? All right, Palantir options. I can show you guys this one. Hold on. And let me go over to... Yep. Looks like the options plays for today is $17. The battle is probably going to be there, possibly 1750. You have 3,600 contracts traded to 1750. You have and these are 50-cent option differences in price, and then you have 3,200 contracts at 17. So we're at 17 right now. It looks like it's starting to shape up as to that's where the battle might be on Palantir. So that's certainly interesting. All right, let me go back to my stock screen. Overall, all right, got a uptick in the NASDAQ, uptick on the S&P, downtick on the VIX. Everything is reacting accordingly, except Coinbase and Palantir a little bit. So 1698, the bid and ask on Palantir 1698 by 1699, so 1 second spread. Or something like Boeing. You have like a 7 to 8 cent spread on Boeing between the bid and the ask. All right, so looks like where's my bees? Oops. There we go. What's Coin doing? So Coinbase turned into negative, down 39 cents. Again, all that's going to be based on crypto news versus the regular markets. And E30, again, it's been in this range all day. Bounced up to VWAP on Ethereum. Where Boeing is trading above its VWAP, which is the purple line, and above its 280 here. Or 180, sorry. There's an alert on the downside on Palantir 1693. Where are we at here? I might pick up some more here. That is not a chew toy. I just bought that thing. I literally just bought it. Sit. Down. Down. No. No. What'd you do that for? Why'd you do that? No. Goofy dog. What'd you do? What was that? What was that? What? What? What do you want? I'm gonna shake and sneeze. She's sneezing. All right, let's see here. Go to the S&P here. Disney's up a little bit. Netflix down. Apple up. Microsoft up. Adobe up. Oracle up. All the techies are up. Just about. Get a few. Nvidia's up. Intel's up. Qualcomm's up. AMD's up. Micron's up. ADI Analog Devices is down. NXP Semiconductor. Xilinx. I don't want to look at. I want to look at GFS. Who is GFS? GFS is the one that went public a couple months ago. Semiconductor company. And there was another fire at a plant, I want to say in Europe, over the weekend. But it doesn't seem to have completely affected those. All right, so Definitely some downside here in the market now. Let's see. Canada, Sterling, CARDX. Still talking about job growth. Again, they thought unemployment would be at 4.1, 3.9 hourly earnings. Yeah, you don't really have anything else here. Greedy. Amazing how it just changes 6 points on their greed index in that short amount of time. All right, we got 8:17, 10:17 Eastern. I'm looking for an uptick here. I can do the SPY. Oh, I know what I want to do. Hold on. What is my... I had my pivots off. And pivots are simply things that show in the most recent trading what the bottom is and what the top is. And so you can look at, sometimes those correlate to a buy or a sell signal, depending on what the MACD is doing and the RSI down below. Still waiting on Palantir. Oh, my back itches. One good thing to have close by, back scratcher. Those things are amazing. Oh, there we go. It's taken care of. All right, I want to look at the Boeing options. And I want to look at the Boeing options going out too. Bump, 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 bump. 214, 215s. Let's go February 18th. February 18th. And they report on 27th, I think, Boeing. Hold on. Yeah, so Boeing reports earnings on the 27th. Looking for 23 cents a share. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for possibly an options trade. 1380. We go into my theoreticals and quick glance at my deltas. 225s. So February 18th, 225, 230. That's a bit much for them for this quarter. If I go into... See, the problem with looking at technical analysis is when you're looking at doing something and say you're looking a month out, you say, well, what did it do a year ago? What did it do, in the fourth quarter of 2020 that was reflected in the January earnings report in January 2021. And it was a whole different time period, right? We had just gotten the V out. The election was over, but the new administration hadn't come in yet. So Boeing's still up. Market's still heading south. VIX heading back up. 1977. It topped out in the pre-market about an hour before close at 2041 on the VIX. And volatility index is simply the inverse of the S&P 500. So you'll see these two. You see how this is going up, this is going down. It just basically gives you a market sentiment of what people are thinking and really what are they trading. And it's all based on the S&P 500. So that's why up here, I don't really have the Dow up here. The Dow is only 30 stocks, folks. It's only 30 companies. And one of those companies can move it. And so it's not really a grasp of the overall market. And that's why I pretty much follow both of the S&P 500 and then the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is up on top here. It's now down 52. And the S&P is now down 6. And we've got a lot of red. If you look at what's trading, you've got majority red. And if we go over to S&P, that should be live updating. I'm going to double check. I'm just going to hit a refresh. Yeah. Okay. So this will update. This is lagging by 15 minutes. So if you go over to FinViz, and they've got a whole bunch of charts, but none of this stuff is live. So you're looking at what happened in the market 15 minutes ago, and you can kind of compare that. And I'll go back to it. And sometimes when I go back to it, I see the colors pop and change. But you're in somewhat of a flat market. I mean, we're down a little bit on the S&P. We're down a little bit on the NASDAQ, 0.35% on the NASDAQery. And the S&P is down 0.15%. Looking for a little bit of an uptick here. All right, we can go back over to here. All right, so Boeing looks like it's dropping down to this 213.46 level and bouncing right off of it for today. And again, we're probably looking at the 215s. Nearest 30 days. Where are we at here? 117, 215s. Scroll down. Yeah, all the action on Boeing today for options expiration, the majority of the volume is the January 7th, $215 calls, 6,800 contracts traded. And if I look at the puts, 1,600 contracts traded at the 205s, and the 212.50s, 1,299 contracts traded. Get out of there. Wipe out all these things on my watch that are beeping at me. So nice little uptick on Boeing. NASDAQ not necessarily following. So this is what Boeing does. Volatility, right? 213, 215, 213, 214, 214, 214.94. Back down to 213, back up to 214, back down to 213. Most people like volatility because you can trade volatility. And the more volatility you have, gives you opportunities. What's our Tesla buddy doing? Down $9 now. So look at a huge spike up. What was that about? Maybe 2.5%. Yeah, about 2.5% up. And then 2.3% slide down off its high on the day, which is 1080. Well, 1081.89 right at the open, I think. 1080.93. So it right about right here. Go Boeing. I'm going to do some research on Boeing over the weekend, and I'm probably going to look at some additional options play on them. And Battle on Palantir looks like it's going to be at $17. It's at $16.80 right now. $16.75, sorry. It's at $16.75. Nvidia down 5.91. AMD down 220. GFS down $1.95. Look at my little mini big board here. SPY Dow popping back up a little bit off the bottom. Good range here on the Dow or on the SPY here. If you look at where it came down to, this initial down sell, let me pull it up over here so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see what the heck I'm talking about. So if you look at the open today, here's the open today, right? And you look at this bottom here, 466.73. Then it got down to 466.83 and 81 and bounced. So now you have three areas of support. Had some significant buy volume, which ran it up to the 489.20 on the S&P. Pulled back. That's all these folks taking profit here, maybe making a short run or people FOMOing in. And they were basing these buys right here were based on a pre-market towards the end here. So you can look at the SPY. If you're doing SPY, if you're doing calls and puts and day trading the SPY on the options, be careful because now it looks like we're just running into a channel here. And we're right about an hour into the day. So you want to see if this dippity dip is going to go back on the SPY below the 466.83 area. Take it out to a 3-minute. Want to have fun? You can do this. That is a 1-second chart. So this is a live, what the volume's doing, what the SPY is doing on a 1-second chart. Now I pay extra for that, and these are not delayed quotes that I'm getting. These are the live. This is the live action I'm seeing, which directly correlates over to my brokerage screen. So I pay for the New York Stock Exchange, ARCA, and NASDAQ on TradingView, which is $2 each exchange to get the live quotes per month. And that's all a tax deduction for me. So there you go. So let's get rid of that. Go back to a 30-second. I'm not taxing my computer too much. What are you going to do here, market? There's really no other news coming out today. UBS downgraded Kohl's to a sell from a neutral. probably going to have an effect on them. Oops. I don't follow Kohl's. I don't do a lot of the retailers. Since early 2020, when the mess started happening, it's been hit or miss on these things. They were all the way up to 64 last year. Let's go out to a daily chart on Kohl's. Yeah, be careful with some of these retailers. I don't think Christmas was necessarily super kind. And people didn't get any more stimmy. If you had kids, you got stimmy. If you don't have any kids, I don't know what a stimmy looks like. Never got one. All right, back to the SPY. And 3-minute chart on the SPY. Still on a sell rotation. 30-second, building a base. Below its VWAP too. So it could bounce up to its VWAP here. Put an alert in there. I'm not going to set a downside alert because it held 3 times at this 466, called 70 to 81 to 77. This wick here is a little concerning. 466.77. It dipped below the 81 cent and the 83 cent. But not quite down to the 73 and back to the pre-market on the SPY. Bollinger Band, which is the cloud, this green cloud with the 2 green lines here. Let me do this. There you go. It's starting to skinny up a little bit. And what happens is when you see it get skinny like it does over here in the pre-market, it's about to do something. Then it dropped, got wide, got wider on the upswing. Now it's starting to skinny up again, which could be one of 2 things. And all right, Dow is down 40. NASDAQ now down 59.58. S&P down 9. Volatility back up to 1968 on the volatility. Canada. There you go, Canada. Canada just came out. Canadian economy added twice as many jobs as expected in December. And the unemployment rate in Canada hit a 22-month low. There you go. Canada added 54,000 new jobs, beating analysts' expectations of a $27,500 gain, while the jobless rate dipped to 5.9% from 6% in November. Interesting thing about the U.S. unemployment numbers is that they don't take into account people that leave the workforce. They don't take into account people that are part of the Great Resignation and aren't going to be going back. So all depends on how they want to spin the information. Yeah, your sectors are all over the place. Semiconductors are all down. Every single one of them. And they don't include GFS in here yet. Your technology, you got a mix. You got Microsoft basically flat. Oracle up. Adobe down. Synopsys down. Fortinet down or up. VeriSign up. Apple up. Financials mixed. Banks mixed. Insurance, who cares? Banks regional. Entertainment mixed. Telecoms mixed. Facebook up. Twitsuck up. Drug sector mixed. Diagnostics, Thermo Fisher. Costco up, Dollar General up, Target up a little bit, Dollar Tree up a little bit, Walmart up a little bit, but Costco down. Tesla down. Let's go to Tesla. Sorry, let me fix that. Tesla had a nice little run up there. Up to 1080, so they gained 60, 70 points or so. Now it's dropping, right? Down 2.74% off its high on the day. Down 1.75% overall. Again, VIX creeping up. SPY and S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Both down 85 now on the NASDAQ, down 13 on the S&P. So it looks like Citadel's looking to screw everybody today. And I might end up holding those Palantir shares I bought earlier over the weekend. I don't think there's going to be any news over the weekend in terms of anything coming out unless something unexpected happens. Supreme Court is having arguments right now on the V mandates. And let's let you guys watch a chart for a little bit. Let me see if I can find. Not announcing everything here. SCOTUS blog. Let's see. So, Supreme Court is talking about test requirements for workers at large companies and the mandate for workers at healthcare facilities. Not even going to mention it. You know, it's unfortunate that the streaming platforms won't let you talk about current news. They will basically warn you and call it misinformation no matter what you're reporting because they don't want you talking about it. So they will literally take down your stream, which is unfortunate. All right, so it looks like a down day here. Everything's heading south. SPY's up, or SPY's down. Dow is down. VIX is up. Microsoft down now. Microsoft down today. Palantir down. Coinbase down. Boeing still up 298. That's your winner for the day. Who else is up? AMC. AMC in the house. $23. So it looks like the 2350 is going to be out on them. Like the Dow's going to be for 23 or probably. Let me take a quick look here at the options. Hopefully you guys don't have any options expiring today on AMC, or that you already got out of them. Hopefully, 23,000 contracts traded at the $24 level. People are dumping them. And the AMC options roll on the dollar. So you're limited in choices. $23, $24, $22. So GME. We talked about, I think it was 150 on those earlier. Wow. So now, the 150s. We ordered a chart. Yeah, the 150s have 4,500 contracts traded. The 149s 1,800 contracts traded on GameStop. And again, they're up about 8%, all on the news for their crypto and NFT marketplace. Really, the NFT marketplace that they're expecting to have up and running by the end of this year. So by the end of 2022. The concern with that on my end is that that's all well and good. But by then you're going to have Coinbase's NFT marketplace up. In the first 4 days of trading, OpenSea had over $700 million in transactions traded, or transactions in the first 4 days of the year on OpenSea. And a lot of that is, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, all kinds of volume over there on them. AMC announced that they're going to start accepting Doge and Shiba Inu. They do already accept Bitcoin and Ethereum. I did not know that, or I'd probably forgotten about it. I probably read about that news last year, but totally forgot about it. So I was like, why, if they're announcing Shiba Inu and Doge, why aren't they accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum? And apparently they already have been. I don't have an AMC theater where I live, so I don't trade AMC anymore. It's been in this. It's been in this range here for quite a while. I had a huge run up back in May. Boop. Hopefully you're not still bag holding the 72 or in the 60s or in the 50s or in the 40s or in the 30s or in the 20s. If you are, it's going to be a while on that stock. Just saying. GameStop, channel bound. But channel bound and volatility, you can trade that. The concern that I have is the same with, all these things are at support levels right now. Look at this, going all the way back to March is where GameStop is at right now. Is it going to make another run up to the 250s? Well, it's got to get through it's got to get up through 150 before it can hit 200 again. And you have to ask yourself, what other additional news could they have? You're not going to get a new console this year. You already have PS5 and the Xbox, and people can't even get those unless they wait for 6 months. So new games that are coming out, a lot of the new games are coming out on PC in addition to the consoles, and people are streaming that content. And so you have opportunities there. AMC, Top Gun delayed again. I believe until, I want to say May, Top Gun the reboot is going to be coming out. I believe I'm correct on that. I think the release is May. It was originally going to be last year. Then it was going to be Thanksgiving weekend. Then they pushed it again, and they pushed it again. So wah, wah. I'll see that movie. I don't know if I'll see it on stream or I don't get Netflix, but that would be one that I would prefer to go see in the theater. All right, what we got here? 8:45. So yeah, not a good day. Not a good day at all. More continuation. If we take a look at, let's just go S&P, or we'll look at the SPY. You look at the SPY and go down to 1 hour, and you have Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. We topped out in the pre-market, really on the open on Wednesday, right, or Tuesday. Let's get rid of the externals. You can see we topped out here on the 4th, and then just a downslide the rest of the week. Usually I'll leave, I should have done this earlier, is take the externals off. Look at the VIX. VIX approaching that up above $20 now. %, which means if you're short in the market, you'd be up 3% right now on the SQQs. On the pro shares. That is heavy leverage, though. Be very careful with that. Huge leverage on those. What is oil? All right, light crude 79, $93.95. Brent crude 81.98. Look at that difference. 81.98. It's usually about a $2-3 difference between light crude and Brent crude. 10 years up to 1.78, 30 years up to 2.13. And TLT's the 10-year or 20-year treasuries down 142.02. And the dollar sliding as well. Well, what a run this thing had, huh? What a run. Look at that. Here's some old DD. March, April. Yeah, sometimes I'll leave that stuff up there. And that's a Fibonacci sequence is what that is. And I can show you that a little bit. And it broke through that and ran up. Boom. But oil, man. Oil. All right, Dow down 62. NASDAQ down 144. Everything's heading south on a Friday. S&P down 21. Boeing still up. What's ETH doing? We were at 31.84 last time I looked. 31.30 now on ETH. You know, what I talked about last night is if it dips below this range, it's 31, pretty much where it's at right now. Might head to the 2800s. It looks like it wants to hold here, but there doesn't seem to be enough buy volume on it, and you're increasing again on the sell volume on Ethereum. So if you're putting in your buys on Ethereum, it's a good range. It may dip a little bit more, but I don't think by any means are we hitting a crypto winter, as some people have been predicting. Pretty much when everybody says that, the opposite happens. Or just follow Jim Cramer and whatever he recommends to buy, do the opposite. It's one of our only winners on the day, Boeing. AMC is up on the day. Boeing is up on the day. Caterpillar is up. Cinemark Holdings is up. Coinbase down 440. Chevron up. Texaco up $1.13. DraftKings. That's a fun stock. If you have DraftKings, let me go out to a 30-minute on DraftKings. Pulls up. Hey, chart. Cooperate. There we go. Look at that. The daily chart. If you're bag holding from September, you're down 58% in 120 days on DraftKings. You have the Super Bowl coming up, but you have to look at what happens after the playoffs in the NFL for the U.S. is over. Which reminds me, I wanted to pull this up. Find it. Oh, jeez, I can't read that. Where is my market clock? I thought I put that somewhere. No, that was gas. All right, hold on a second. Let me find something I'm looking for. Here we go. This is a fun little chart. And I'll show that to you in a moment. And I can put the link in here. And this is basically a market 24-hour clock that I found. And what it shows is when the markets close, like Johannesburg already closed. Moscow is going to be closing here in 9 minutes. Then you have Frankfurt, Zurich, and London that are going to be closing in about a half an hour. So if you're looking at the U.S. markets and saying, well, man, what happens at 11:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Mountain, 8:30 Pacific? Well, the European markets close. You know, Moscow closes about a half hour before the Frankfurt, Zurich, and London exchanges close. And those close at 9:30 Mountain time or 11:30 Eastern time. And that's why you have all this stuff happening in the beginning of the markets. Then Europe closes, and we go into this little flat range right here unless news comes out. Which I don't think that there's much going on as far as news. But this is nice because what I can do is I can look at things on a 24-hour basis, and I can see when markets close. Like obviously the TSE to Toronto Canadian Exchange runs the same hours as the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. Then you got Brazil. They're open long time. So I put that link in the chat. It's pretty cool. You should be aware of when other markets open and close, just from the standpoint that it can affect U.S. markets. And if you're wondering why market dips or why the volume goes, that's why. Okay. All right. So DraftKings on an uptick, good volume here on a 30-minute chart. But if you go to a 3-minute chart, DraftKings, you got some little down action going on here. So if I turn the externals back on, let me show you the day. Here's a day. So heading right back to where it closed, still up 44 cents, but you know, that's still 1.59%, right? The thing about DraftKings is that you're dealing with regulations, you're dealing with competition. Where I live, I see these commercials all the time. I see commercials for MGM. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting kind of tired of the Matt Damon Crypto.com commercials. Those things are all over the place on every single platform known to man. And they keep rerunning them and rerunning them. Boeing trending down, but Boeing still up 1.95, $1.95 on the day. Tesla, oops, hey, that's not Tesla. There we go. Tesla now down $31 on the day. 30-second chart. Get rid of the externals. You guys degen into the DWAC. It's back. Flat. Coinbase getting hammered. 2%. Ethereum. 31.33. Helium. 36.44. My pick for the year. Bitcoin. 41,245. Doge. 15 cents ain't going to $1, folks. Sorry to be the bearer. Shiba Inu. Not going to a penny. At least anytime soon. I won't say never. Amazon down $17, down 0.5%. AMD down now 3%. Apple down 44 cents. If you're in the ARC fiasco, they're down 19 cents. Again, Boeing is up. Caterpillar's up. Coinbase down. Chevron up. DraftKings up. GME 139.51. Can it get back to 150. I don't see it. I do not see it. If you're trading 0-day expirations on GameStop, you have 5,300 contracts traded today on the 150 calls. And these trade on the dollar up to 150, and then it goes 50 cents up from 150. So you're looking at 139s in the money right now. 105 contracts traded. All the actions at 150, which, remember, this thing hit 160 today on GameStop. It was up quite a bit, wasn't it? And off that 160.31, it's pulled back 13% from there. Still up 6% on the day. But what we were led to believe in the beginning, and I said it myself, 160, it looks like, maybe 155, maybe 150 might be the play here. And then the market trailed off. And I don't know. Let me see here. Unemployment came out. If you look at the Sidney Poitier died. Okay. Showdown at Supreme Court, ruling by the end of the month. People are frustrated. They go about their lives. That's all the bad news site. TSA checkpoints close as personnel issues. Hey, get your TSA global entry. Best thing ever. If you're close to Canada, or if you go to Canada, get the Nexus program. A lot of credit cards will reimburse you. If you do credit cards, will reimburse you for the fees on those every 5 years. But the least expensive one is the Nexus, and that's a cross-border program between Canada and the United States. That's the one that I have. It's the cheapest of the bunch, and it works for global entry, TSA pre-check for the United States. Let me check my other news site I use here. I'm not going to pull up these news sites because I don't want to get my stream taken down for mentioning things that are in the news. Let's see here. No real, other than the bad news that they put out on a Friday. Oops, get rid of that. Let's see here. All right, not going to talk about that story. All right, so nothing really newsworthy other than the unemployment numbers and just people getting just unsure of what's going to happen in the market, right? That's what we're looking at here. Rocket Mortgage, if you hold Rocket, tread carefully. Because when rates go up, they don't report again until 25 December. Ask if you own Rocket Mortgage, Rocket companies. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors, hey, anybody refinancing anymore? Still got lumber prices way up here. Home building is not necessarily doing as great as what they expected it to. Getting a slight uptick on markets here. Bottom tick up on the NASDAQ, bottom tick up on the SPY, and VIX pulling back just a little. But look at this since November, you've had this slide. And, I got out of the housing market. I sold my house in August and moved to a different state. And pretty much sold at the top. I believe my house that I sold, market value-wise, is probably about $40,000 less than what I sold it at. Something like that. I looked at selling my house back in October of 2020, and I thought I would be out by December. I never listed it, and the market just kept going badoop, badoop, badoop for external factors I'm not going to mention on stream where I lived, but it was outside of Seattle. I'll just say that. So every time something happened in Seattle, my house value went up. So I listed it in June. It was on the market for 35 days. I did not use a real estate agent. So I sold it FSBO by myself, but I did offer a buyer's agent fee. So most real estate agents, and that's the legal term for them. I won't use the other term, but real estate agents, real estate brokers, because they're licensed by the states. I did pay a buyer's agent fee of 2.5% if the agent brought a buyer to my property. I never signed a listing agreement with anybody to sell it because I'm not paying anybody 6%. And in Washington State, I also paid, I think my total closing costs that I paid on the buyer's agent fee, and the city took 0.5% on the excise tax, and the state took a 1.29% excise tax exit fee. Hey, sell your property, they take more money. Oh, this is totally separate from capital gains. So I think my closing costs were about $39,000 I'll be able to deduct on last year's tax return. However, my closing costs in my current state, $150 total. That's it. $150 to buy a house, $150 to sell a house. No other excise taxes, no other fees. So I basically bought a property here, and I for the first time in my life, I no longer have a mortgage, which is absolutely wonderful. So I can ride things and do the stuff that I want to do that's fun in life, and not have to worry about that. But if you're holding Rocket, be very, very careful because rates are going to be increasing this year. We had the Fed minutes come out on Tuesday, and the FOMC minutes were basically a reflection of the December meeting. And basically what came out of that is no real news other than the rumor that the Fed may increase interest rates 4 times this year, with the first one coming in March, which means they're pretty much looking at March, probably May or June, August, September. Don't think they're going to do one in December. I'm going to go with 3. My guess on rate increases this year is 3 rate increases, with the first one coming in March, which means that interest rates are going to go up. We already have inflation. Inflation is off the hook. Housing prices are up. All you had to do was look at your grocery bill. I started talking about this in the spring of last year. And I said, save your grocery receipts. Save them because 6 months from now, they're going to be up 40%. And everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. And sure enough, I saw what was happening with oil, and where oil goes, inflation goes, because that's all supply. We all remember a few years ago when companies were adding fuel surcharges onto everything they were doing because gas was going so high, $4 or $5 in some places, $5.50, $6 in California. I think right now, we can go to that real quick here, right on the screen. Boom. You have California sitting at $4.65 on average. You're at San Luis Obispo, 4.8, 467 in LA, 465 in Orange County, San Diego County, 463. Get a little relief up in Fresno area, but the Bay, you're still 470 or so. So you've got a lot of issues with fuel, and that's going to cause a lot of things in the supply chain to go. And then I was also talking about that time about the shortage of drivers. They were short roughly into the spring of last year. They were already talking about the shortage of drivers around the country. And what that meant is no drivers. What happens? Ports. Ports are going to start backing up. And we all know what happened to the ports in the U.S. during the supply crunch. And it's still occurring to this day. I mean, you go out on the street and you see people looking for drivers everywhere. Hold on a second. Come back over here. Come here. Go. On your bed. Dog's trying to escape the area. And if she escapes, she wants to chew on something. She's going to sit here. I'll pet you for a little bit, okay? So going back to this, if you own any of the mortgage companies, be careful on things like real estate investment trust, REITs. Be careful with commercial as inflation and supply constraints continue. Inflation's going to continue on. I don't care what they say. It's here for a while. The Fed is in reactive mode. They are not in proactive mode, in my opinion, and they're delaying what should have already happened. So the Fed, in my opinion, should have already increased rates regardless of what the stock markets are doing. It is not the Federal Reserve's job to protect the markets. It's the Federal Reserve's job to protect the overall economy. I like Jay Powell, but he goes off on his tangents on his personal things, and I'm not necessarily super wild on that. I am happy for the reconfirmation hearings that will happen next week. That'll be interesting. I doubt I'll carry that, but I might talk about what some of the effects are on that. But she's playing with me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Dog wants to play. Wait, what? Oh, you want to come up? Oh my God. Liberty. This is my dog. What? Will you stop looking at me? Yes, I love you too. Now get down. On your bed. Ready? Set. Go. No, sit. Down. Up. Shake. Shake. Good girl. Sit. Shake. Down. Wait. Not gonna listen to the wait. She's on her bed. I can't show you because I don't have the dog cam going. I do have a dog cam, and it points to her bed, and it goes up here, and it goes in a box up here, right here. But I don't have it going right now. I'll probably have it going for Monday, for Monday's stream. I'll probably put the dog cam up. So not a great day in the market. Dow down 55 right now. So Dow down 55. NASDAQ down 1. Come here. Get out of there. Go on. Dow down 155. S&P down 24, which means the VIX is up around 2029 is where we're at there. What do I have to do? Do I have to block this area so you don't go through all the wires? Huh? Is that what I got to do? Right? Right? She's a great dog. The best dog I have ever owned. And I picked her up. She's a little pitty mix rescue. And she's about 2.5 years old now. And I got her when she was 9 months old. She didn't know any. She wants to play. And what I do, when I'm on stream, come here. Oh. Nope, right here. And when I'm on stream, she wants to play because she wants the attention. So she'll get a little mouthy like she's doing here, but she won't bite at all. Her tail's wagging like 100 miles an hour right now. And she's a good. What? You gotta go out? You gotta go potty? You gotta go potty? She sneezes. You gotta go potty? What do you want? You gotta go outside? Okay. All right. So let me go. I'll be right back. I'll leave this screen up. Actually, I'll put the stock screen up. And this will be pretty quick because it's cold outside. So I'll leave this one up, but I'll be right back. I'm going to go let her outside. And I won't have any more coffee because I only have a cup a day. And I'll be right back as soon as I let her out and bring her back down. Wait, sit. Wait. Come. Okay, I'm back. I brought her a treat. So what she did yesterday was she chewed on a pencil out of my flight bag. So I have a flight bag with all my flying charts that I do for fun and my headsets and all that stuff. So let's see if she can jump up and get this. So this will be quick. Do it right about there. Wait, sit. Down. Up. Shake. Other shake. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Wait. Yeah, right about. Let's see if we can see it. Right about there. Get it. All right. She got a treat. It doesn't matter. As soon as she's done with the treat, she hears me talking, and so she wants the attention, which is cool. She's a great dog. All right. Let's take a look here. Okay, that's good. So all flat now. We've got about 15 minutes before Europe closes. So we're already flattening out on the day. To the negative, by the way. Tesla down $31. So I do a cup of coffee and I do water. Oh, by the way, the very best water bottle you can buy is a Cantiga or Contigo. Contigo? I think they're called Contigo. I can show you. Let's see here. My cap lock's key on. That's not going to be good. There we go. These guys. Where are we at here? I think I can make that bigger. These are the best water bottles you can buy, in my opinion. And their Contigo is the brand name, and you can get these for two of them for $32. So they're on sale right now. But you can sometimes get these at Costco. We'll carry them, or Sam's Club, mostly Costco, once a year or so. This thing, well, this is ice from last night. It'll pretty much last all day long. Even in hot temperatures, it'll last a few hours. But these are the best water bottles that you can get. So there you go. So if you're looking for a good water bottle or a good coffee cup, Contigo is the brand name. Contigo. And they make some really, really good water bottles. All right, so Tesla's still on the downside here, down $38 off its high of the day at 1080.93. Go back down into a 3-minute chart on them. You can see here's the open, down on the open, volume ticked up. But the volume, based on yesterday's volume, the buy volume today should have been the tell on Tesla that it was not exceeding the volume of the prior day. And that's why you had this slide channel bound here and then boom, right back down in the same support level it was at earlier this morning, right about 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Liberty, come. What are you doing? Sit. Stay out of there. Don't eat pencils. You're very lucky that that pencil was only carbon. I think I got most of the she ate the pencil, And I use pencils on flight charts and flight logs and stuff, manual, old school way. And she got one of my pencils out of my flight bag and chewed it up while I was streaming last night. I should have had the gate back here and not further up in the other side of the room. All right, so let's take a look here. Again, we got the markets basically flattening out. We have Europe that's going to be closing here in just a few minutes. There we go. So here's Europe. You got Frankfurt, Zurich, and London. Basically almost closed. And then Frankfurt closes last. So about another 11 minutes and all of Europe will be closed for the weekend. And we'll start talking about futures and options. However, the option plays that looked somewhat decent this morning on the open after the initial run-up look absolutely terrible right now. So it looks like no matter what, the hedgies are going to win today. All those dark pool buys, which also means I'm down like $500 on my Palantir buys for the day. So I'm looking at a negative day right now. About, looks like altogether, about $1,100. It's good to lose money. Woohoo! Not good at all. But I'm not worried about it because the option plays that I have are March of 2022. And I think that we're probably going to start the week next week on an uptick is my best guess at this point. At least that's my hope. But I believe that's what's going to happen. I'll decide a little bit later into the close. I'm not down a whole lot on my Palantir on the shares I bought. Let's see. What did I minus? What did I get those things at? Times. Yeah, I'm down like $600 on the Palantir shares I bought earlier. So I might take a look and during lunchtime, I might add a little bit if I see an uptick. And then I may or may not stream the close. Depends how it shapes up. I've got a couple things I want to do, but I'll probably need to be in front of the screen to do it. So I may come back for the close. So we're probably going to end this stream in about 10 minutes or so. Oh, okay, you're okay. Stay there. I've got a recliner on the other side. And she jumps up and sits in the recliner, which is a good spot for her. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw the blanket on her. 1 second. Threw the blanket on top of her. Maybe she'll settle down for a long winter's nap on the recliner. She also, so what I tried doing is I have a crate for her. And I can show you guys this next week. And the first crate I bought for her when she was a puppy, she burrowed through the bottom of it and then went and destroyed my laundry room, eating the trim. Dogs like wood. So I've had this recliner for like 20 years. They still sell the exact same recliner at Ashley Furniture, and it's hilarious. But I used to let her run into the house when I would go out in this new house because I wanted her to get the run of the house. And apparently I can't do that. I have to put her back in the crate because she decided to eat a little bit of the back of the recliner on the bottom leg. I still have to buy a furniture pen to cover it up. But it's the only damage that recliner's had in the years that I've had it. And it's a leather recliner with wood handles. And actually, let's see here. You guys want to talk about a recliner that lasts and still looks brand new? I'll show you it. Hold on a second. Let me look for a recliner. This thing rocks. I gotta find it though. I was amazed. I walked into a store here where I live, and I know they had it. Let me go recliner wood maybe, and see if that pulls it up. Nope. They sell 8 million kinds. Ah, found it. So this thing check this out. Okay. This is the recliner. So if you see this thing, it's $719. The handle is on the inside of the arm, but I've had this exact chair for, I want to say 2003, and it looks just about as new as it did the day I bought it, and I was laughing like crazy because they still sell it. And it's a good chair. It's a quality chair. I'm telling you, it's the exact same chair they've been selling for 20 years. And they still sell it today. So if you're looking for a good recliner, Ashley Furniture, this one will last a long time. Although if your dog likes to chew, may decide to chew on the back of it. So there's my recliner advice for the day. All right, we got an uptick now on the NASDAQ, still down 146. But again, channel bound. We've got the Europe basically closed, except for Frankfurt, which has another 5 minutes. London and Zurich already closed. And so now Frankfurt, you're next. And let's see what happens after that close. And we'll go to the SPY. Then we'll probably call it for now, and then I'll probably be back later on this afternoon. I'm really interested to see what options do later on this afternoon. So it might be some interesting plays there as well. There's a nice uptick. Got a buy signal on the 3 minute on the SPY. Auto, move that up. There we go. There's the 30-second chart. There's the 1 minute. The buy, it was in a slightly oversold, but the blue was above the red, so definitely a buy signal on the SPY. So it looks like we're going to head north for at least a little bit here. But we'll know in about 5 minutes whether that's going to sustain or not. It depends what the U.S. is going to do as Frankfurt approaches its close. And all you folks in Europe, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We still have many hours to go before our market closes. Four and a half hours. So good volume coming in here too. Wants to exceed. A little bit worried about this one here. This candle here. About 45 minutes ago. But this looks, I like the way this looks. Yep, VIX heading down. Let us get back into the 19s. If we get back into the 19s, it could go back down into the low 19s, possibly even the 1800s. It may get a little bit of a run. I don't know that we'll... I don't know if the major averages are going to be able to clear this out. Maybe the Dow to go positive on the day. But it certainly looks decent for right now on a 3 minute. The Boeing's doing nice pop there on Boeing. Tesla's probably got a $20 bump. Yep. They're up on their signal 1028, 1038. So yeah, $10. Don't expect much out of coin. Still down $3. Palantir down 3 cents, about to break even with a nice buy signal here, 1671. That's good. What does that do for me here? Hold on. I am almost positive on the day without doing another trade. I like it. I like it. So definitely a buy signal here. Volume. So a little bit of concern on volume here because the volume was greater on the run up. But remember, all these people here at the beginning of the market sold and took their profits. But they did not exceed the initial volume candle over here. I can't see that one. Hold on a second. Yeah, the top volume candle on the 3-minute chart did not exceed the top sell candle on a 3-minute chart, which is good. I'd like to see this get back above 17. I don't know because of options expiration whether that's going to happen on Palantir today or not. I might hold my shares over the weekend on this one, or I might see what happens possibly in the after. But you know, I can trade pre-market or post-market. I can get up at 1 o'clock in the morning my time, or I'm sorry, 2 o'clock in the morning my time, and start trading in the pre-market during the week. And I can trade up to 6 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock Eastern in the post-market during the week if I wanted to. So looking at options again, there's a ton at $17. 8,400 call options for expiration this afternoon at $17, and the increments on Palantir are 50 cents until you get up to $27, and then they go $1 for today. So 50-cent difference in price. Hold on a second. Okay, she's good. She's on a recliner. I covered her in a blanket. It is 71 degrees in here. Yeah, 71 degrees. And it is cloudy and cold outside. I never turned on my oil. You guys have any of those salt lamps? Mine's got an oil diffuser thing on top. I usually throw some in there. All right, 1671 on Palantir, looking good. Rest of the market still sustaining, and we are closed in Europe. And that looks just like this. Oops. There's Europe. So Europe is closed. So I can get rid of that one. Economic data. I can get rid of that one. No earnings to speak of. Sentiment I don't need. Gas prices we covered. Economic calendar, I can get rid of that. Take a look at the S&P. So got a little bit of bright stuff coming in. The banks, the druggies, entertainment, selective tech only. Again, Tesla's down 1%. Amazon is up. Let's take a look at Amazon. So definitely a volume decrease after Europe closed. So you got the sell volume over here, but look at the volume here. So it doesn't mean that we won't go up further, because after Europe closes, you say, well, you're getting into lunchtime in the U.S., right? It's 11:30 Eastern time. All the hedgies and the dark pool runners are probably heading out to lunch to show off their egos and their watch collection at the local steakhouses on a Friday, and to celebrate the fact that they drove the market down this week and took money from others. I've done 2 trades this week. I did the entire week. Boeing option played 25 calls for the Boeing January 14th expiration, $205 calls on Boeing. And I sold all those out already earlier in the week. And it basically, my trading goal for the month was already covered with those. The 205s now, if I go to January 14th, I sold my last group of 205s at, wow, nice pop today, at 1070, and now they're up to 1225. They were at $9 earlier today. That's what I should have bought. I should have taken this dip over here. Let me show you. I should have taken this dip and YOLO'd some Boeing options instead of buying Palantir shares. So I screwed up there, but that's okay. Because I don't think there's any additional. No additional news. No additional news on that. So a company that's doing well and coming out of a rut, of which Boeing was coming out of a rut big time, because they had, let me fix this, there we go. They had this bottom down here on 20th of December, and that's when I bought those calls and wrote them up to here. And then I missed basically this. But having bought those calls down here over 3 days, the 14th through the 17th of December, and riding them up to here, I had some good gains there, some really good gains. Basically paid for my entire month. So I don't need to do any more trading this month if I don't want to. But of course I will. But definitely a good company, good long-term company. A price target for Boeing, I don't really have one. If I was a fathom a guess, I think that by the end of the year, there's a real good chance we could top 300 again. Could we get back up to 346 or whatever it was way back when? What is it? I want to say 346. 349 back in February of 2020, before all that happened. We'll see. We'll see. Initially, it's got to break through upper 250s. You got some ranges here in the 230s right here. That's its next stop up if it continues. And again, that's going to be based on orders. And I think the orders that are going to come through are going to be on space, a little bit of passenger, a lot of passenger, I should say, and a lot of cargo are going to come through for them. And so definitely a nice run up here for Boeing today. And they're going to carry the Dow. They might even carry the Dow positive. They might carry it on their backs themselves, because Dow is now only down 4. NASDAQ has improved, down only 109. And the S&P only down 15. So you got about 0.75% down on the NASDAQ. Basically flat on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Again, not super important there. And then about 0.33% on the S&P. And that's going to drive some other companies back up here, possibly into the green. And while Palantir is kind of leveling out here a little bit, but still on a buy signal, it's got to break through here. It's got to get through this 1675. My concern is that at 1675, there's no option play there. So either buyers have to come in, sustain this buy here, and we're increasing on there, blue above the red. We are not into an overbought condition as of yet on Palantir. So this may continue for a little bit. I'm not going to be adding to that position anymore. I don't think I'll be taking the L on it either. I'm down probably, well, let's see here, 1672, I can tell you. Minus, where's my buys? The last section I bought 250 shares at 1681. So my last buy was at 1681. I did not add back down here. I probably should have, but I did not. So carrying a 10-cent loss on the last group of 250 shares. So I bought 1,000, then I bought 250 more, then I bought 250 more. So 1,500 shares of Palantir. And still down a little bit on them, not much, a few $100. Yep, not much. On the day, my options are actually up on Palantir. My March options, because those are at $20, and those are actually up 1.41%. So yay on those. My longer term Palantir options, September of 2022, even though the stock is now up a little bit, those options are basically flat. So my March options for $20 for Palantir are up. My shares are down. And my September options, I have 20 calls for Palantir, 9/16 expiration. I have 45 calls for Palantir, March 18th, $20. And those are trading at 71 cents right now. You see the 318 calls. Yeah, 318 calls are 70 to 72. Delta is at 0.2938. Good delta. Good delta. And let me look at the. Let's see if anybody agrees with me on this. Hold on a second. Okay, so the Palantir, March 18th, 2022, $20 calls. 497 contracts traded today. The only other March 18th are the $17 almost in the money ones. Those have 812 contracts. But the $17 are trading at $1.69, and there's 72 cents per call option. Again, a call option is a right that you purchase to buy 100 shares of the stock at a set price. So you're basically leveraging. So one call option is equal to 100 shares. So 45 call options for 318, which is what I have, is 4,500 shares. I have 4,500 shares at $20, which is, it gives me the right to buy $90,000 of Palantir shares at $20 a share at 318. My hope is that as we get closer to $20 with what I paid for them before they release earnings on February 16th, that I will be out of them either, somewhere, depending on what my gut feeling is telling me, depending on what news comes out between now and then. They've had some news of some increased contracts. They had South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries, a joint venture with Palantir. Let me go into the other one here. I've got better news. Well, I don't have better news on them. There was some other ones too. They signed a couple more defense contracts. I hate this social buzz crap because it talks about them every day, and it's just gobbledygook. So I got to scroll through on some of the news items and the sector updates. But definitely a nice little pump back up here. Got a red doji here on a 3-minute. And looking at NASDAQ's flattening out. Again, this tends to happen after Europe closes. You start to see either this or this, but no matter what usually happens right after that is this. And then you'll get something into the close or into the close, depending on which way the sentiment's driving and any other new news. I don't think that there's any other, you're not going to get, you might get a little news as far as what the Supreme Court is saying in the arguments, but it's not going to matter to this market. Yeah, you can go to news sources and look, and they're talking about the same stuff that they've been talking about, which is fine. It's all good. Ethereum, I can tell you, 31.93. Stuck in this range here. Got down to 30.65 and then bounced 30.90. Bounce. That's a nice bounce. But again, during the day, it's going to follow a little bit of what New York is doing and the NASDAQ's doing. Man, freaking Boeing, dude. Nice. Nice day. Good day for Boeing. And looking at this, you got AMD. Nice rise in AMD, and then it came into its own little channel there where Boeing is taking off. Yeah, Boeing's going to 250, folks, in my opinion. Coinbase is, are they still down $2? AMD still down $3. Palantir down 2 cents. Microsoft down $1.47. SPY down $1.30 now. So 0.28% on the SPY. I should have traded Boeing earlier. But I'm still almost a flat on the day because of my option. Yeah, my options get me flat. But those are longer term. I'm not trading those today at all. Sidney Poitier died. What did he die of? He lived to be 94 years old. Wow. Good for him. Oh, he was Bahamian from the Bahamas. Cool. I didn't know that. Granted U.S. citizenship. Moved to the U.S. when he was 15. Got a start in Hollywood in the 1950s. So there's your third. Betty White. She lived 99. We should be so lucky, huh? All right. One more look. Oh, Boeing, you wonderful, wonderful airplane manufacturer, you. What is, let's see here. Do I have them in here? Yeah, Airbus trade down today in Europe. Down 80 cents. That's on the DAX, German exchange. All right. Cool stuff. All right, my friends, that is going to do it for now. Hey, you know what? I'll be back for the market close. We'll see what happens there. So look for a stream a little bit later on this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all this afternoon. And I may do another NFT and crypto stream probably over the weekend with an update, especially the crypto markets. Taking a quick look at what some of those are doing here. Get to that layout. Crypto 8 chart. Okay. There we go. Palantir just crossed 1709. Whoop whoop. Yes. Put it on the board. Yes. There we go. Oh, that was earlier. That was an old alert. Did not cross 1709. It's at 1677, but it's heading up in that direction, which I like. All right, so Bitcoin, again, bouncing off the bottom, ETH off the bottom, Helium off the bottom, Sushi Swap off the bottom. Biconomy, that's a little different. I'll explain that another day. Solana off the bottom. Matic, I like Matic. 211. Cardano, I'm sorry if you're still holding bags on that and didn't sell that thing. It was 2 something. But there you go. Palantir, go, baby. Go, 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 go. Let's go. Let's go. Where we at? There we go. Nice run off the bottom there. 1648. 1.57%, 26 cents. Good deal. All right, folks, that's going to do it. I'll see you this afternoon. I'll be back for an afternoon stream on the market close. We'll be digging into the options and see where the battles are going. And on Palantir for the day, looks like the battle is going to be at 17. So we'll see what happens on that one. And we'll see if I hold on to my shares over the weekend or whether I either close out of them before I start that stream or during the stream into the close. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Do me a favor before you leave, hit the follow button over on Twitch and on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and when you throw in a comment such as, hey, good stream, great stream, or crappy stream, whatever you want to do, that's fine. And we'll hopefully have yourselves a wonderful weekend if I don't see you later on. As we have a very, very mixed day as far as sectors go. But thanks for tuning in. I'm CryptoSonar, and we'll see you all next time. Bye now.